sweet to me. This is where I wanna be. On up with you, supersonic. We're on fire, rockin' love alive. On up with you. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up. How you feeling? Yeah, yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up. How you feeling? Yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up. How you feeling? Yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer.
And welcome back to Hand Collectibles for another Fanhome review and tutorial. As always, please do hit that bell notification. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help. And as you can see, we are back with the Toyota Supra, the Fast and Furious Toyota Supra Mark IV from the first Fast and Furious film. So Brian Supra from the Fast and Furious film. So we're on with the next package. So this is the next two issues from the next package. So we've got 45 and 46. So as you can see, we've got a remote control to build here, and then we've got some form of radiation and some pipes, radiator and some pipes to kind of put together there. But we also did get in this package a new gift. So if I just open this up, we'll have a look. And as you can see, it has arrived unbroken and unscathed. Handle's not going to come off. So a really cool cup to join the other Fast and Furious cups that you have. Obviously one came with a Dodge Charger, one came with the Skyline as well, which was a really cool one, and then this one now with the Supra. So really cool cup, really well done. As you can see, universal. So that's a really nice gift. So I'm just going to put that back in the box, and without further ado, we'll have a look at issue 45. Okay, so issue 45 and issue 45 parts, and as I said, this is the remote control for the electronic system. For the Supra, we'll put that to one side, and we'll have a quick look through the book. So, a bit about the Toyota Supra. The Advan one as well, with a huge body kit on it. A bit about the Fast and Furious film, driving in Rio. Now, as you can see, the remote control and light test. So we're doing a light test as well. Okay, so a fair bit to do with the lights in this one to test it on. Pretty cool. Okay, so here are all the parts for the remote laid out. So as you can see, we've got the back, the front, buttons, the circuit board, and then the battery holder. And if you don't have a battery, you're going to need to get one. So you're going to need one of these, which is the, what battery is it? It is the CR2032. So CR2032, which is what this one is. There we go. So you're going to need one of them. You've built a couple of these, you'll probably have some spares floating about because they all use the same battery in the remote control. So what is the first step? So we're going to move these parts to one side for the moment. So going to get this, going to get the buttons for the car. Kind of looks like they go around that way. There's actually a power button, so we're going to put that right up in that top corner, next to the volume up, volume down button, like so. And then we're going to get the circuit board, so as you can see where the buttons are on the circuit board. And we're going to put this, so push the buttons all the way through. There's a locating pin directly in the center. Almost missed that. Okay, then what we're going to do, we're just going to push this together like so. There we go. And the next step is we're going to just turn that over. We're going to turn this. You see where this little lip is at the back? You're going to take your battery with the name of the battery on top, and we're just going to slide that in the back of the remote like so, and that's the battery inserted into the remote and the remote completed. Okay, so the next step is to bring the main part of the car back in. We're going to put some batteries in the bottom of here. We're going to turn this to the on position. Then we're going to roll the car back over. Here's all the wires and lights. There we go. Now I know there's a lot of people that have had issues with the lighting and the electronics. So fingers crossed that mine will work. Okay, so that works. So the on button is pushed on. Okay, so the volume works. So what is the first step? Let's have a look. So what we're going to do first, so we've turned it on, we've checked the volume up and down. I'm going to check the engine. Okay, there's the engine sound. Okay, so that works. I'm going to rev the engine. That works. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then what we're going to do is check the horn. Okay, so that works as well. So next one we're going to check is we're going to turn lights on. Aha, there we go. So what we're going to check is we're going to check all three of these are on. As you can see, they all are. And then we need this little one here. So we can tell both of them are on. Make sure that's in. Yep. So that's them in. There's another little light bar here. That's on. Then there should be this one here. That one there. So that's on. This one here also should be on. And then should be these two lights here also should be on. Okay, so that's them all checked. We'll move on to the next button, which is this one. Okay, so that's that one come on there as well. Turn the page in the instruction manual, we'll see what's next. So now we're going to go reverse. There we go, so they just came on here. So that one works as well. Now we're going to go indicator. There we go. Indicator on the other side. So that's that side, and then that's that side. And then we're going to hit hazards, which then does all of them. And then we're going to do this one, which is your brake lights. So that's there coming on there. Plus these ones we looked earlier, they go slightly brighter. And then so these ones down here are just coming on. There's a group of them there, as you can see. That's them. And then the last one, which is this one here, which is the passenger compartment light. Okay, and then we can then turn them all off. So like that, you can then turn the lights on. We can rev the engine. That's the engine, sorry. That's it. The power button was slightly stuck down there. So that's the engine. We'll turn the lights on. we'll turn the hazards off. There we go, hazards off. So that's pretty cool. Yep, absolutely. All checks out, all works perfectly fine. Okay, if I just turn them all off again, that's it, all off. I will say the remote isn't the greatest, and to be honest, like some of the buttons get stuck down, but I know a lot of people have had like problems, and Wayne did a bit where he just moved the spring on the inside so the connector was connected to the battery correctly. So I mean, my one works, so I can't complain too much because other people have had other issues. But yeah, I mean, definitely could do with a better remote. I mean, the electrics on the car seem to work fine. It's the remote that seems to be the issue. But it does all work, and I'm thankful for that. And that brings us to the end of issue 45. So we'll move on and we'll have a look to see what we'll do in the next issue. Okay, so here we are with issue 46 and issue 46 parts. As you be, we're going to do a bit on the steering rack. And I think it's an oil cooler that we've got to do here. And we've got some pipes and some extra bits. So if I move that to one side, we'll have a quick look through the book. A bit about the Corolla overseas. Phoenix, one of the baddies that was in one of the latter films. I remember he had a very cool car. As you can see, so yeah, steering box, yeah, is an oil cooler. And this is what we're putting together and then connecting into the car. Looks like we're going to do a bit of wire maintenance as well. Pretty cool. And there you go, that's what it will look like when we're fully complete. Okay, so here are all the parts for issue 46 laid out. So as you can see, we've got some two blue pipes, a black pipe, we've got this little cooler, we've got parts of the steering box that we're building, we've got some other pipe here, we've got some AM screws, some GM screws, some IM screws, and then these little blue connectors for some pipes by the looks of it as well. Okay, so if I just move these parts all off and we'll see where we've got to start. The first step is we want these two bits here, and then these are going to be connected with an AM screw. Okay, so these are the first two parts. Now what I have noticed in the instruction manual is these two parts go together and you're meant to screw it from this side into this bottom part, but the threads are in the bottom part and there's no thread in the top part. So if you're threading from this side, this is the side, the flat side we're meant to put the screw in from, it will screw into no thread at the bottom, which means this will then just drop off. So you've got to reverse it around, you've got to go from this side into the bottom flat side which has got the threading. So we're going to do that instead. So we'll get an AM screw, and then we're going to go from here, we're going to screw this into the hole. As you can see, now it works because the thread's in this bottom part and not in the top part. Must have been something that was just changed at a later date that the instruction manual doesn't account for. And these things happen. Okay, so it's that done up nice and tight, so that fits lovely. That's how that sits. And the next step is you're going to take, you've got two of these, so they're both the same, it doesn't really matter which one you use. Yeah, and you want it so the fatter hole is the one in the middle. Yeah, and then that is going to go in between here, and then we're going to put an IM screw in from each side. So I'll just put that down, get an IM screw. There we go. Line this back up. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do. Need to kind of line the hole up perfectly
So sweet to me. This is where I wanna be. On up with you, so sweet.
to get the IM screw in. That's that one in that side. I'm going to put the one in the other side as well. Try and stop it moving about. Okay, so that's how that sits. And then I reckon go a little bit tighter. It's about as tight as I can go at the moment until really something else is holding it in place, and then I'll maybe have to go a bit tighter either side. But at the moment, I mean, that's holding it in place. Okay, so the next step is we're going to take now this part and connect it right here and here, and we're going to put an IM screw through the top and an IM screw through the bottom. So get an IM screw on the screwdriver. I'll line these up with the hole as best I can while holding it. That's that one in. I'm not going to go right into the hole. I'm just going to put the other side in as well. So it'll be equal on both sides. Okay. There we go. Now, while holding that, I can then probably do these ones up a little bit tighter as well. There we go. So that's how that sits. Obviously it's moving linkage, goes all the way. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take another one of these little parts here, and this is going to go this end, well there's another connector, and this is going to be held in with an IM screw either side as well. Get the IM screw out and then line this up the best I can. Okay, so that's that side in. And get the other side in as well. Really nice intricate piece we're building, steering rack. There we go. So you can see there's all that. There's that little spindle at that end as well. This part up, down, left and right. Okay, so the next step is we've got these three parts here. Move back just to one side. And as you can see, this is the box. So this part, this cog here, is going to drop right through that hole. Then we've got this part here. And as you can see, this end, it's square cut. So it'll only go on this part one way. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert a AM screw in the end of it here. So you have to hold it pretty tight. Get this. It's about as tight as you're going to get that. So that's how that bit should be. Like so. Obviously that's just going to spin that cog in the inside. You might want to put a little bit of oil, a little bit of Vaseline maybe in the inside of here, because obviously you want to stop it all rubbing and getting worn. Okay, so now we've got that part in. You'll see this little cutaway here. Now we want to bring this part back in and drop it into that cutaway. As you can see, as this rotates, it moves that arm. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to bring the top of this back in, so as you can see. Make sure which way it goes round. It goes round that way. There. And what we're going to do is we're going to screw the top of this box in with a 2 IM screws. So the first IM screw. And screw this into place here. Gonna let go of that now. Get the second IM screw. Screw that into place there as well. Doesn't want to go into, yeah, there it is. So that's that one done up. Do the other one up as well. There we go. So as you can see, now that moves that. That's the steering box. Okay, let's see what the next step is. Okay, so I've zoomed in a bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. So we've brought the main part of the car back in. Now we've got, this is the steering box. If I turn the wheels to one side, you'll see right through this gap in here where my finger is, there's a little notch where this sits on. So what we're going to do, I'm going to drop this through. Right, so the box should sit in here. Now I've lined that little one up down there, and then what we're going to do is it goes to GM screw, so I'm going to just drop this GM screw, try and drop it all the way through here. That's stretched out of the way. It's definitely not easy to do. Okay, so I've just got that through. I'm going to do that up. Apologies you can't see because my hand. Once it's in. Okay, so I've got that in at the moment. Right, like so. So that's on the underside. Now I just want to get this part in place as well. I believe this box sits in here. If I can get it in place. Okay, so the next step is we're going to just screw the box in with 2 AM screws. So probably can just zoom out a little bit more just so you can see. Get these two out of the way. Okay, we'll just get this back one in as well. Get this screwed into place. That's that. As you can see, I'll turn this now. That goes that way, that goes that way. Yep. Coming back this way, it's a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of how that works. Okay, so the next step is we're going to take this little oil cooler. As you can see, we're just going to push this into there, like so. And then with the part that we just pushed in on this side, we've then got these two little nipples to go on. Right, so the one that's just straight up and down is this side, and then the one that's got a kink in it is on this side, like so. So that's how that sits. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to get these two little hoses here. I want to come this side I believe I'm going to drop this little oil cooler in down there. So we're going to take the longer one first, and that's going to go onto this nipple. It's going to be quite a tight fit, so I don't think I'm going to need to glue them. Hopefully I'm not. Okay, so that's that one in. That wasn't too bad. This one is quite a bit shorter. Obviously I don't want to stretch it too much. Or damage it. So that's that on there. And I'm just going to try and pull it down a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so that was not easy. And then there is two little holes just down here and here. Right, and that is where for now I push this down into. Okay, I'm just going to push that right down into there now. Use the end of this to do it. There we go. So I don't knock any more hoses out. Okay, so that there is that just down there. So if I'll give a closer look to where that sits. There you go. Extremely detailed. Okay, so the next piece to put in is this. Now I've had a look on the instructions. Now this has got to go right down through here. Now right in here, I can't show you because right at the bottom of the engine there is a little hole that you can see. And this, I don't even know if it would be worth gluing this in place. It is in just the craziest of positions to get in. I can just line it up with a hole. Now I've lined it up in here and I'm just going to get my tweezers and just push it into place. And that's kind of where it sits, I believe, just there, like that. That was a bugger to get in. Okay, so the next step is we've got this black lead. So that is going on, there's a little nipple right here next to this part we've just put in, which I believe is like a dipstick. Might just have to just try and do it with tweezers. Easier said than done. I'm going to just push this right on, like so. Right, and then the other end, there's a lead here. On the back side of this lead there is like another nipple where this one sits. Like so. Okay, so that's that in. I think it's, yeah, it's definitely around that side. That'd be the inside there. We'll tuck that down. So that's that one in. Okay, so all we've got left is two blue leads to do. We've got the shorter one and the longer one. So the short one we're going to take first. I'm just going to widen the hole with my tweezers. Right, and then this is going to go on this linkage here, which I believe is like an accelerator cable linkage. Okay, so just off camera I just had to push it on just so I can see a bit closer. I'm just going to edge it up with my tweezers, and that's where that one sits. So all we've got left now to do is put this one on. So let's just have a look where this one goes. It looks like this one goes, I think there's a little nipple underneath here, so we're going to get that in place. Okay, so I just had to do that off camera. So I'm going to show you the top one. That's where that one goes. It goes straight out the back. And this one just goes on this little nipple here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand this on the side like so. Okay, so I kept it so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So if I drop this down, we can go, so it's going to come up here and go through this little, right there, this hook here, right, and then there is a hole in this one here. Just feed it through, there we go. Okay, pull that like that. That comes out of that nipple down through the hook and then out of this little hole here. Right, if I show you a closer look, you can see that is what that looks like. Okay, so that's taken ages to do a really small amount of parts, but yeah, I think all we've got left to do now is maybe a bit of cable management. Okay, so what's left to do is a bit of cable management. Now, it tells you they're going this way towards the front of the car is B, D, A, E, F, C, H and G. All need to be taped up and coming out of this end. And then out of the back part, so running out of here, is I, M, N, P, Q, O and R. Okay, so I'm going to unravel these and then I'm just going to pipe them in the directions that they need to go. Okay, so that's all the cable management done there. So you've got B, D, A, E, F, C, H and G going out through the front of the car, and then you've got I, M, N, P, Q, O and R going out through the rear. And obviously I've just taped them all down at the moment, but I think once everything's in place I'll probably use some UV resin just to set all the wires in place. Now it does say you can disconnect all these, but I probably won't. I'll just leave them connected for the moment just so I don't lose any of the lights or the wires. I think that brings us to the end of this issue. Yep, it brings us to the end of this issue and the end of this video. As always, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Your collection, your rules. I'll see you next time.